Good afternoon. Thanks for joining here the meeting. I'm Xavier. I'm flying from sunny Malaga to talk to you about AI testing, certification, audits. So who can think about this, about a cool, interesting topic? So I'm pretty sure here in the audience there is a lot of people interested into new applications of AI, going to the limits, developing new solutions. But honestly, please raise your hands who thinks that audit, testing, certification of AI is a cool thing. Well, at least there are some hands, so it's okay. So I will try to maybe not convince you that it's a cool thing, because I'm still struggling to think about this, but at least to convince you that it's something important that we need to consider when developing all the new AI technology. So let me start with a video. So this will be my first attempt to convince you with a video. It lasts for 1 minute, more or less. Probably you have already seen it, but not everyone, so.
Newly released dashcam video shows another frightening Tesla crash, this time in North Carolina. A Nash County Sheriff's Office patrol car is hit by a Tesla going nearly 70 miles per hour using the car's autopilot mode in August of 2020. That patrol car hitting a sheriff's deputy before rolling down into a nearby ditch. Officials tell our Raleigh affiliate WRAL the driver, a doctor, was watching a movie on his phone.
I lived down for a minute.
This incident, just one of 11 crashes the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating, involving Teslas on autopilot hitting first responder vehicles. The preliminary evaluation highlights that many of these incidents happened at night, including this one from last year. A Florida State Highway Patrol vehicle was hit by another Tesla on autopilot.
Okay, so did I convince anyone that we really need to have testing certification of AI? Please raise your hands who is convinced that we need it. I think that then I can go because my job is done here. No, well, not really. We have seen in the video, there are some points, no? It's a very well-known car manufacturer. It's always incidents with autopilot, so assisted driving with a lot of AI involved, and also some common points that it's always common patterns, normally always happening at night. So maybe there is a point that will come back here later. But let's not start in that negative way to AI. We really like the technology. There is, of course, a big trend. There are all these numbers that tell about how much worth will be. So around 2,000 billion in 2030, like every single company is adapting technology. It said that 3 out of 4 products will be either built with AI or using AI. So of course, these are no reasons why to block the technology, but rather we should be looking at how to develop safe and secure AI. So we started with, yes, a very impactful case, automated driving car with crashes and so on, but there are more things. So we have seen it recently with ChatGPT or AI generative tools. It's the first time where general public is really using AI. It's really, they are really being in contact with the technology. Till then, it was a little bit a mystery for everyone. But general public is at the same time looking at and seeing what are the benefits that can bring the technology, but is also testing themselves that it has some weaknesses, that sometimes when I ask ChatGPT a question, it's not totally accurate, the response. Or sometimes if I make one question, maybe I'm leakaging some important information. So there are other aspects that need to be considered. There was one survey quite recent that says that 81% of the population is concerned about security and safety of generative AI. More examples. We have seen, also was in the press a couple of years ago, like this medical chat box that used GPT-3 that was suggesting a fake patient to kill himself. Like, these are very extreme cases, but they did appear. Besides the known risks about security, safety, inaccuracy, there are also other, let's call it softer risks, but that also need to be monitored. We are talking about bias, fairness, that every individual is treated in the same way, no matter what the gender or the race is. Also ethical concerns. So what happens with these thousands, millions of jobs that will be persons that will be replaced by AI technology? So there are a lot of concerns around. Indeed, just to give us reference, there are a repository of more than 1,000 cases of incidents related to AI, and you can check by yourself. So some ones were super impactful, were in the press, some others really not. Given this scenario, we need to control, govern AI, educate people on how to do it in a safe way. That's why governments are putting also a lot of effort on developing regulations. There are initiatives in Europe, but also worldwide, in the States, in China, in Canada. We'll be focusing, and I don't pretend now to give a speech here about EU AI Act, but at least to reflect a bit onto what is requested. So by far is the most advanced one. It was just a couple of weeks ago, it was approved by Parliament, so it's upcoming. And it's interesting because the requirements that it will pose, the regulation, depends on the associated risk of the AI application. That makes, I think, this the right way to go. You cannot treat every single AI application in the same way. This is depicted in this pyramid. So we have first category, which are applications whose risk is unacceptable. And these are directly banned. Basically, those refer which the ones that attack to human lives or the rights of persons. And these are totally prohibited. Second classification are the high-risk applications. Those are the ones that a malfunctioning could put people's life in risk. Like, for instance, what we saw in the automated driving car, in infrastructures, in several other machinery, etc. In this case, what the regulation will ask is for a conformity assessment. So every single company that has AI embedded into their products that is high risk, they will need to go through a conformity assessment, so proving that they are compliant with certain standards that ensure safety and security of the applications. This can be done or will be done either by self-assessments in the company or with third parties. Then there is one new category, one more category whose risk is lower, but still will require of transparency. We are referring here to generative AI. Always, when any content is produced with AI, it should be informed. So the consumer needs to know that this was AI produced, that text or that video or that audio. Okay? And then finally, we have a last category that is absent to any type of regulation. So very bounded, we have laws, but we also need standards that regulate or that define how things should go, right, with AI, how to look at the different aspects. In this sense, also, there is heavy work here. I'm just here putting an example. The different ISO standards that have been developed or are still ongoing. So you can see there are plenty of them, so about 100 more or less, touching different points of AI on the data quality, on the trustworthy, on the risk assessment, data privacy, law, etc. Okay? But it's not only this. We have also another standardization organizations who are working in the same direction. S.A.U for telecommunications is also developing a lot of standards. EAAA, Sense&Elec, so it's a big picture here that we need to navigate through. But perhaps don't take the conclusion that everything has to do with regulations. So we in DEKRA, we have already been working for the last couple of years and already engaging with the market, with potential customers. And sometimes what we find is that there are also other motivations beyond compiling with regulations. From the one side, yes, when it comes into place, everyone will need to go through, otherwise will be subject to big fines. But as said, we have observed other motivations, let's say. One clear motivation is we find that at the end of the day, everything is about money, right? So if I develop one AI solution, or I have a third party developing it for me, I want to make sure that the model works well, that the model is producing the expected outcome. Otherwise, I can put into risk my business. So recommender systems, for instance, strategic decisions that are taken in the big companies, which depend on a decision of an algorithm. Okay, this does not happen so often, but in the data-driven companies, it's already happening. Liability, in case of that my product causes a damage. That could also be a big impact on my company. So, long story short, there is also the second aspect that we see that they want to earn this trust, right? And the third one is trust as well, but with the customers, with the consumers of AI technology. And that we have especially seen this in the last 2 or 3 months. So again, thanks to our beloved ChatGPT, there is more and more people who are aware of, I asked something and it's not accurate. It's telling me something that is completely wrong because I'm an expert on this, and even though from the format, from the form, it looks super good, the content is not reliable. That makes general public, consumers, to hesitate about how good are other AI-powered applications. And what we find with our customers is they want to have a proof that their AI-powered products are working well, to gain trust with the final customers. So what we see is that more and more, and with the numbers that we have seen before, like every single company is adopting nowadays or will adopt AI technology. So this will not be a differentiator with your competition. What will be a differentiator is you are able to prove that your AI-powered solutions are safe and free of risk. In that sense, from DEKRA, we think that we can help. I like this picture that depicts a little bit what we have been doing the last couple of years. So we are third neutral party that is there in the middle of the ecosystem. We are in touch with manufacturers, producers, to understand their requirements, how these all regulations can affect them. We are monitoring regulations. Also, we are very active participating in standardization organizations, working groups, to see which will be the requirements in the near future. And finally, very important, technology. Technology for testing safety and security of AI is not easy, let's say. There has been a lot of R&D involved, and now we are in a phase that we need to translate this base R&D in the academy to real practical tools that our experts can use to make these assessments. And finally, with the goal of providing neutral third-party assessments for the benefit of the final consumers of AI technology, that they feel safe and secure when using all this technology. In that sense, so I'm very happy to announce today that we will be launching our first generation of AI testing and certification services. We are pioneering on that. We know that still regulations are ongoing, but as I said before, the needs are already there. AI is increasing, AI adoption is increasing more and more, so the likelihood to have risk fatalities is increasing. We just cannot wait. We are proposing this first generation divided into 3 lines. We can help you in 3 different ways. First, with advisory and training. So helping you navigate through all these regulations, standards, so how should I be prepared for? Does it, will it have impact on my service portfolio, on my products? So we help navigating through all this, and also like assessing, looking at how we could be supporting in making your products more safe and more secure. Second line is running audits. So looking at our auditors, looking the compliance with the most important standards that are being drafted now or are being now pushed to the market, and checking that different aspects as well of AI. So starting with the processes that are run to develop and operate AI in a safe way. Management systems, risk management, these are all will be requirements from the UA Act. So anticipating all this, we can already offer these services with the final goal of offering conformity assessments that will be required in the future. And the third line is, and perhaps for an engineer like me, the most interesting one is AI testing. So here basically is getting the model from our client, the data, and do like stress test, looking at different aspects of the security and safety of the model. Starting with data quality. Data quality is paramount. We should not forget about this. So we're transitioning from model-based, model-centric ML, right, to a data-centric ML, where the key is the data that you take for training and validating your solution. So this is not my quote, of course, this is Andrew and G, but something that we also are adopting in our tests. Second, model robustness. So the example that we put in the video with the Tesla, we said, okay, maybe there's a common pattern that every time that is at night, less light, it seems that does not work that well. So these are the type of tests that we do. We change the environmental conditions, do heavy stress tests, and see how the model reacts, how the AI reacts, in order to find the weak spots so our customers can improve the solutions. Third, really important topic that we have not maybe highlighted so far, security. So AI at the end of the day is a software running in a certain hardware platform in the cloud or in an edge device, but at the end of the day is prone to any cyber attack in the same way that any other software or any other system is. Here, this field is particularly interesting given the nature of AI and the life cycle of AI, continuously retraining. So here, what we do is also try to check if the systems are robust against adversarial attacks. Okay? With the end goal, normally these attacks could be that either they want to create malfunctioning of your product, or they want to steal your IP. Okay? Good. So all this is powered, as said, we have been working already software development that we have in-house. So Tax41 is our global platform for running all these audits, assessments, and so on. And we are also partnering with top-edge software developers in the area of machine learning, deployment, and testing that are supporting us really to offer top-notch quality tests. So I guess that I'm quite fine in time. I'm not sure if I convince you that AI certification audits is a super cool area, but I hope that at least you get the grasp why this is important, why it's important to embed these processes into any development process of AI. So me, myself, I have spent more than 10 years developing and leading teams developing the software. I'm aware that normally you have the pressure from your senior management to release fast, go to market fast, and you don't have that much time to do all the tests and so on. But this is going to change because there will be regulations, because more and more it's not about having one AI product, but really showing that it works well and works in a safe and secure way. So my message now from home is don't wait, act now, because the needs are there. AI is increasing. Safety and security really needs to be proven and outstand from your competitors. So be pioneering in this area. We are happy also to help you in case you have questions. So you have here my contact, and I'm happy to answer all questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we have time for questions.
25 seconds.
No, we still have 5 minutes.
Huh? Okay.
We can. This one here.
Hi. I wonder, with the evolving AIs we use, which always get trained, always change, how does the certificate account for that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So certificates cannot be a one-time thing. Models evolve over time, depending on the training data, on how the characteristics of the data come. So the concept for certification is also changes. We should think about permanent monitoring. That would be the very last objective that we'll be pursuing. Otherwise, a point in between to have recurrent certifications that like your car, let's say, you don't prove your car only once in the life, but every time you need to go to the PTB. So we will be talking about the same here in AI.
Maybe we have time for one more. Andy, here.
Thank you, Xavier. I spoke on the same topic yesterday, but as a user about ethical AI. I got a question afterwards that I find difficult, which is if I'm using a model, let's say from Microsoft, and I can't even look into it, how can you? Thank you.
Yeah, also super good question. So here is the question, should we certify the foundational models, the large language models, or the end product, the application that is based in these models? What the regulation says, EU Act anticipates is every single foundational model which will be used afterwards in a high-risk application should also be proven. We know it's going to be tricky. We are talking about the 6 big ones developing this kind of models, but also something needs to be done because it's impacting many different applications and many use cases, also considering high-risk ones. So at the end of the day, something will need to be done as well with foundational models.